Hi, and welcome to another Math Monday here on my series of educational videos while schools are shut down. Today I thought I'd share one of my favorite math lessons, creating a survey. I love this lesson because it can be used in many grade levels. It teaches many math concepts like fractions, decimals, percents, and converting between those. Graphs, giving a visual representation of numbers, and most importantly, it involves students' interests, so they can pick a topic they're interested in and apply it to math. Whether that's movies, TV, music, sports, hopefully your students have something they're interested in to do. So I picked movies. So I'm going to show you how I used Google Forms to do this survey. Again, if life was regular, you could just type out survey questions, hand them out, have people fill them out, hand back to you, and do all the data collection. That's actually a lot more work. Doing it digitally is a lot less work, but I'm also going to show you how to do the math when you don't have programs like Google to do it for you. So what I did was I just went to Google and I looked up Google Forms because there's no little button for it for whatever reason. So I Googled Google Forms, and then there's Google Forms Create. So I went to create one, and you put in, the title of your survey, and then you just can keep adding questions. And each question, you can choose how you want the answer to be. It can be short answer paragraph, which I wouldn't recommend for a survey. Multiple choice check boxes I did not use a drop-down menu. So I made it simple, just 5 questions. So people wouldn't need to take that a lot of time to answer those, to fill out the survey, because no one wants to do like a 100 question survey. So the questions I asked pick your top 4 favorite movie genre, and comedy came out on top. And I'm going to go over it came out at 80%. I'm going to go over how to calculate that when I show you all my questions. Then I had people check all the streaming services you use. Netflix and Amazon Prime were the top 2, which isn't surprising. There weren't many big surprises here on my survey. I also asked, how many streaming services do you use others people's login, or share a login, or give your login away? 70% of people surveyed said they do at least one of those. 30% of people said they never share or have never been given someone's login. And this 4th question people thought was the most difficult, because I had people pick their favorite movie series, so they could only pick one, and people said they had a hard time doing that. And I hate to say it, but in my survey, Harry Potter came in first at 27.1%, beating Star Wars at 24.3%. And then I asked, there's Tiger King, this documentary on Netflix, which isn't technically a movie, but I was just curious how many people had seen it, and 48.6% said they had seen it. So more people had not seen it than seen it. So I'm just going to grab this paper here that just fell. So back to the results. So how do we figure out, when we don't have a program, how do we figure out what the percentage is for each question, or each response? So what I did was I took that first question I asked to pick your favorite genres, and I made the responses into a fraction. So we have 56 people chose comedy as one of their favorites over the total of 70 people surveyed. So then, when you have a fraction, 56 over 70, this line means divide. So 56 divided by 70 is 0.8 or 8/10. So this is the decimal form of that fraction. So then, to change a decimal into a percent, all you do is multiply by 100. So you take that 0.8, you multiply it by 100, and it comes out to 80% of people surveyed picked comedy as one of their favorite movie genres, which isn't surprising. Now, the shortcut, one of my favorite shortcuts in math, when you multiply by 100, you have the 0.8. All you got to do is move the decimal point over twice. So you move it over once, it becomes an 8. You move over again, you got to put a placer there, which is a 0. So you move over twice, and it becomes 8. So this is how you convert from fractions to decimals, decimals to percent. A percent to a decimal, you do the opposite. Instead of multiplying by 100, you divide by 100. So you'd go, if you have 80%, you move the other way, and you get 0.8 as your decimal. So I hope you can come up with a topic that interests you and use Google Forms and get your results. Oh, the other thing is when you go to your link of your Google Forms survey, it'll have questions that you can edit if you want, and then there'll be a thing you can click on for responses, and it's really cool. So each response, each question, you can change the color of the graph representing it, and you can also, when you're done with your survey, if you don't want any more answers, you can click on not accepting any responses, and then you can do your data, kind of look at all your data. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson on creating a survey, and I hope you can pick a topic you like and ask questions, and maybe come up. I didn't come up with. Actually, I was surprised that less people had seen Tiger King than not. I guess that was the only surprise, and that, so I guess I did have surprises, and that Harry Potter lost to Star Wars, which is upsetting. I'll get over it though. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you're all doing well.